Hey guys, Tap here, and today we're playing HOI4. Well, it's not. We're not actually playing. I'm doing a tutorial for my friends. Um, well, actually one because he doesn't know how to play. But yeah, he wants to play Equestria at War. So, if you want to learn how to play Equestria at War, well, this is the tutorial for you. So we're gonna go ahead and go. So yeah, you already have the main menu and whatnot. So, you play alone. Well, yeah, single player, multiplayer, and then options, and then this is just the career profile. Like, shows like your history and whatnot. I guess I spent 50 years in a game once. I probably left my computer on by accident. But anyways, there's some other stuff too. So like options, if you want to like change like the audio or like make your game like have more FPS and whatnot. So you can just go ahead and change it here. Experiment a little. So we're gonna go ahead and go into the single player. So we're just gonna go right here. Tutorial. It's gonna be broken because that's like the base game. We're gonna go ahead and go into new game, and then every time you start a new game, there's always gonna be like a, well, for Equestria War, it's the continents, but like base game, it'll be different. Like it'll show like the years and what the timeline, whatever. So like 1936, 1939. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do Equus. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but okay. So this is gonna be on this side of the continent. We're gonna play as Equestria. So like these are the major countries. Obviously, you want to pick the major ones right here. You can play as the shitty ones if you want, but that's up to you. But the major ones up here, they already have like a storyline connected to them that you can play. And then you got all the other stuff down here. The leader lore, and then you have like like buffs or debuffs that they have already starting with their country and whatnot. So like, look at the Crystal Empire. You got Zombra scare. I don't know what that is about. So yeah, we got yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and start as her. So when your turn is starting, you're gonna spawn on the map. And honestly, the only important stuff would be just like the stuff down here in the bottom right. So you could get achievements for this game. You just have to enable Iron Pony mode, which is Iron Man mode. And then you have your difficulties. If you wanna like go through, if you're suffering through a breakup or you're happy in life, then these are both of your options right here. So you want to make it yourself easier or make it hard. There you go. Um, for custom game rules, it just basically there's just a bunch of stuff like modifiers and whatnot. Like you can give your nation like more steroids or whatever. So if I move the slot over, you can see the numbers change where they get more positives and whatnot. And then we got like more stuff down here, like foreign policy, like be able to like change like war goals and whatnot. Like, so the reason I'll explain why it's limited. So like yeah, it's limited by ideologies and world tension, which I'll explain that later. And we got all this other junk down here. We have AI behavior and game setup. So it basically makes like an AI races to make them go off of like a different timeline. So like you could just do this. So maybe you want to make the Griffonian Republic communist or some shit. I guess you want to do that. Go ahead. But we're not gonna change. We're just gonna do anything. I'll just like show you guys different stuff through like command consoles and whatnot. But yeah, historical AI focuses. So that's like I said before. That's just gonna keep them on their main timeline. Making sure that the TVA is keeping them in check. We're gonna go ahead and start on Equestria, so we're gonna go ahead and start. So every time you start the mod, you're gonna get all this lore. I'm not gonna read all this. I do not care. I only care about the gameplay. So yeah, you're just gonna go ahead and look through here. So like yeah, wherever you start at, there it'll tell you like the region you're in, and then like the game mechanics. So yeah, the Equestria Road basically is just like using Road of 56 and whatnot. You got all these stuff like poverty. So it just explains like like poverty and whatnot, what affects what. So if you want to read this, and this is just the update log, you're gonna exit out of that. So here we go on the main menu, on the main screen now for the game. So there's a lot of stuff, but over time you'll just understand. You just don't need to look at most of it. But I'm gonna show you guys real quick like what the game looks like without any DLC. So of course your game is gonna look like this. Like it's just gonna be bare bones if you just only own the game by itself. I'm pretty sure if you buy the game, you get 2 free expansions, unless I'm wrong. But yeah, if you don't, normally if you're gonna play multiplayer with somebody, they're gonna have all the DLCs, whatever. But if you somehow don't have the DLCs, that's kind of a poverty issue. But you know, I don't question your money. But yeah. So anyways, we're gonna go back to our original screen right now. So we're gonna go ahead and start on the top left right here, and then we're gonna go down and then talk about like what the heck is the bottom right stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start over like political and diplomacy. So we got our country right here. So if you wanna, you can press Q or you can just click on it, and it'll just show you like your political side and whatnot. So you have like a bunch of stuff here. So you got law and government, research, military staff, development. So development is just like, so right now, since Equestria is a modern society, there's already a lot of stuff you don't need to worry about. So you have all these like stuff. But if you look down at all these other things right here, so like detached country, whatever, those are like debuffs and stuff. So let me give an example. So since Equestria is already modernized, let's go Nimbuzia, whatever it is. Well, if you look at theirs down here, yeah, like so they're still industrializing and whatnot. They got limited literacy, so some people read, some people don't, and they're kind of poor, you know. So we're gonna go back to Equestria. So going back here, it just basically explains like what you could do for like your country to like benefit on the political side. So there's like all these stuff. So for law and government, we got volunteers. So this just raises like how much people you can recruit into your military, which is just this up here, the pony power. So you just want, so let's say let's say like you're at your last stand, like all your territory's conquered. Obviously you want to do scraping the barrel, but as you can see, it's gonna like lower your construction speed and whatnot because you're literally taking a baby with a rifle and having it fight for you, and then so on. But like probably like all the way up to like extensive is when like stuff gets like rough, but not really. It's just 10%, but 5%. Normally people like to do just limited conscription by itself. And then we got expert focus, so we got all this stuff. So this basically just limits trade that your country does to like everyone in the world. So if you just set it to like free trade, everyone's able to like trade resources with you. You could do limited, which like cuts like how much resources you allow people to trade from your country. So let's go down here. So let's say like 10 steel, whatever. Since it's 50%, half of that is being traded in the market. And I'll talk about the trade category once I can. And we have civilian economy, so this just raises like, oh, there's a lot of stuff I didn't know that. But this yeah, so basically it's basically saying like your country right now is in a state of like, you know, just normal, like you're not at war. That's basically what it means. So like let's say you're at war, then obviously you want to go into war economy, like so early mobile. So each time you move up, you'll have more opportunities to build like more military factories and whatnot. And on top of that, you're also gonna need war support and like making sure like, well, total mobilization. Oh yeah, total mobile basically is just enemies like they claim like most of your factories, so you may as well just go crazy. And then obviously it's gonna cut back on your population too. We have political advisors, so they're modifiers for stuff. So some of them they might like boost your party ideology. So this stuff right here. So you know, you have harmonic, communists, supremacists, and like non-aligned. So some of these like, so this guy is just every time you start a game, it's always gonna have like an agency person. So you just leave that be. And we have other stuff too. So we have like Twilight Sparkle, which boosts like magic research and whatnot, stability and research speed. So basically just a research in an industry. They'll just like make sure allows you to like build quicker by like 10% more and etc. So you could just look at all these and like see what what advisors you want for your council. I think this is the recent update for HOI4. This is just like companies and stuff, so you can look through all these. So it'll like boost like modifiers. So I think they already have modifiers set. So this one, yeah. So they more speed, less armor, more speed, I guess. This is just armor for heavy tanks. So they got whatever different categories. We could take a look at it. So we click on it. So each time, so I'll explain later for this. I'll go back to this later, but yeah, basically like you could like upgrade your equipment. So let's say you want to attach something, so I guess power traverse or some shit. It'll whatever equipment you're making, it'll add that modifier onto the tank basically because of the company contract. So like the trade points right here, and then there is policies too to make if you want like whatever the heck that modifiers for additional. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, but this is whatever. And then industrial concern. So this is just research for whatever you want to do. So, oh shoot, yeah, that's good right there. Monthly population. So we got industrial speed and electronics and whatnot. So yeah, you just look at those. If you so, let's say you want to do industrial, like you want to build up your industry, like research your industry so you have better like technology, go ahead for that. And then same for electronics if you want to learn how to build the radio quicker. Theorists, they basically help you with either like doctrine for your militaries. Like I'll go down because that's going to be at the last part. Military staff, like I said before, it's like the same with the advisors. They boost, but instead of like political stuff, they boost like your military stats. So you know, so let's say army drill, you'll train more troops quicker and whatnot. And then, you know, chief of navy, they'll make your ships better. Like, well, not better, but they'll like have more of advantage of like of the boosted stats and whatnot. But we're here like army defense, it gives them more defense and such. And infantry, like, so your like regular like standard infantry units, like these, where are they? Oh, I don't have the key. Oh, there you go. Right here, these people.
Our lands must be preserved.
And like I said before, if you wanna go back to your options, I'm gonna lower the volume because I know I'm gonna be clicking on them a lot. Get that out of the way. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's oh yeah, there's other stuff too. So yeah, national spirit. So these are like the modifiers like you've seen back on the main menu. So you like Forgotten Tribe and whatnot. I know some of these you could remove some of these with a national focus, which we'll go down into that in a bit. And then we have other stuff like occupied territories. So like I guess we own like a bit of land from Stalingrad, Dragonlands, and then Buffalo Chieftain. This is like the garrison stuff. So let's say like you fought somebody and you took a bit of their territory, then obviously you're gonna be garrisoning that, and you're gonna have like some of your units on the pony manpower. So you can see like garrison right there. That's like so you're sending some people to like, you know, like just they're basically like police. You know, they just keep the region in check and whatnot. Of course, there's like different like laws and stuff. So some they use less manpower, some use like more manpower. So like military governor is like the worst, but it will drop down like resistance and whatnot. If a state has like really high resistance, so we could go look at that right on the bottom right. So compliance mode, there's obviously, since we already own territory, it's not going to show, but let me think of a... Nah, okay. Let me, wait, I'm going to think if there's a... Oh, there's a current war, actually. Let me see. We could, where are they? Okay. So we could look at, this, like, we could look at a different country here. So notice how, like, this has, like, their compliance, because they're garrisoning, they took over, like, this person's land. And whatnot. So you can see, like, the compliance, so as, like, compliance goes up, you get more resources and such, and manpower from, like, this little, like, spot they claim. And basically, that's, like, the whole, like, garrisoning stuff and whatnot. You wouldn't really have, like, no concern about it, just as long as you have, like, enough manpower and, like, equipment to give, like, your garrison units, like, the proper equipment to, like, garrison there in, like, that area. And then we got subjects, so these are like your puppets. You could like so you could check. So I own the Crystal Empire. You could like take their shit, whatever. Not exactly take their shit, but you could like take their units and such, and you could call them into war. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead into the national focus. So this is just like what you're mainly gonna like do. Like most of the game is just like picking a focus, what you're gonna plan and whatnot. The continuous is just like after like a while you want to do something. So let's say you want something quick, real quick. So like army training, you could just have this activated and it will just be running continuously as what the title, the so there's like different decisions and stuff that you could go through. I don't really play Equestria that much because I play like the other nations, but there's like different stuff here. So that you could just start this. It'll have like a day, like how many days it'll take for it to complete, and then like the effect of it. So like whatever you pick, it'll have different decisions, and like Ministry of Defense, it'll add more stuff. Like you'll get like a free general and such, and like war support and etc. So yeah, you guys could like look through this and then, or you could just hop on a game and look through all this, like the Buffalo problem stuff. So like each like focus will just have like a random like outcome to like your game, and like whatever you want to choose. So and then there's like other stuff here that's locked behind a wall. And let me see if question, and then like there's like some like focuses where like it has like exclamation mark where it's like mutually exclusive. So whatever you pick, that's what you pick, and you can't change it. And then if you notice this like glowing bar, um, it'll like save like a couple of days, so like 1 out of 10. So I guess if you're not focusing, it'll like full up. So those 10 days. So notice how this is Equestria Games is 56. Those 10 days, it'll like shorten it a little bit by like 46. It's not much, so it doesn't really matter. And then we're gonna go back to like the diplomacy. So if you want to look at a different nation, you just right click, and then this is like the other leader. There's lore, I guess, and then there's just like the other stuff, like who are they aligned, like their faction, what faction they're in, and then like the puppet, and then their national spirits, national focuses. You can see theirs, but obviously you won't be able to see if it's like a foreign nation that you're not allies with. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see what they're researching and whatnot. So like all this is all blank, but you can see theirs. You can since Crystal Empire is your puppet, you can see what they have. And then there's like these other decisions too, so like guaranteeing independence and like improving relations. All this is just like whatever fiddle bladder, whatever if you want. Like request per license production. I've never really seen this being used that much apart from multiplayer. So if let's say like you have a friend that has like some expensive ass like good ass tanks, whatever, you want to buy it from them, you just give them a factory. So let me just click right. Oh wait, let me do. Let me see if there's like a nation I could. Yeah, okay. So let's do Yakistan. So let's accept that because they're not my ally. And then we can request a production. So whatever I click, it's gonna cost like a factory and such, for like product license and such. And then we have like, since they're my puppet, I could do request forces. I could steal all their people and use them for my army instead. But I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this over and give them back, so it'll return back to their country. And then all this you could just read over, but pretty much it's just like some simple stuff that it'll just explain. So like so let's say a country's at war. So if Crystal Empire's at war with Yakistan, you could send the volunteers, but there is still like I said, like the limited stuff. So since we are harmonic, so if I want to declare war on Stalingrad, I'm gonna need like world tension for that. And then there's like other stuff too. So let's say like you're at war with like Crystal Empire, but they took everything. You could go hide in the Stalingrad, or if you're gonna do like some weird ass monkey maneuvers, and say you have like you expanded all the way over here, and you took some land right here, you could ask Stalingrad for military access, so you could pop back. You could use it as a route to go up, and like go through like the territory you own. So like right here. Oh, so right here, yeah. They like ask for military access, and you just get some units over here, and then they'll go right here and fight. And then yeah, all these other stuff, you could just look over. It's just self-explanatory for like the diplomacy part. Now we have decisions. So all this is just like it's just like standard stuff. This is a mod stuff. You could just this is just a mod. You could just ignore this. There's other stuff too. There's like the standard where it's like you could like build resources and such. You could like let's say you want to like you like make aluminum in one region and you could just use some of your factories and such. And then there's like this one region wide industrial integration. You could build like a slot in one of your areas. And then there's some actions like this is like the political stuff where you could like boost your stability but return for output and whatnot, and then you can ban like a certain ideology. So let's say let's ban supremacy, supremacists, whatever the hell. So I don't know why. Okay, supremacy. I guess let's just say yes. Just say supremacism. Um, so it'll like so that we'll ban it and it'll take that 1% off. Yeah, and so on. And there's like construction projects and stuff. So you could just look that over. This is simple, whatever. And then we have the intelligent agency. This is part of like, you know, the garrison stuff and whatever. And you could like also send like agents over to like other areas. So let me go ahead and like open up an agency with console commands so you guys could look at that. So let me see if this works. We're gonna activate this. Okay. So we don't have to wait the 30 days, but usually it'll cost like 5 factories and such. And then down here you'll have like an operative. You could just recruit. So let's just recruit somebody. Damn, what the heck? This guy is, man, Equestria is rigged, but we'll go ahead and pick this guy. So basically what he could do is he'll like, you could just send him over here, build like a spy network, and basically you'll get like intel from that area. Like whoever's like snitching and that stuff, they'll can off information, and then you can do like objectives and such. You could I haven't seen a lot of people use operatives, but you could use it to like fuck up a nation if you want. You know, start like assassinations, or like start you could like, if you're taking over a land, you could create like a puppet government while like you're currently taking out the current like government, and they'll take over and such. And then you also have the upgrades. You could just look this over. It'll just like boost like how much intel you get from a country, or like, you know, also like the defense of your countries too, like your counterintelligence, and like making like rooting out like your partisans for like for garrisons. And then like right here, this is the shield. So right now, little to no subversive activity. That just means like nobody's looking at my country, but some people that might be spied on right now. But who knows? It's early game, so nobody has an agency built. But yeah, that's it for the agency part. It's nothing little. I usually use agents for like so let's say root out resistance. Damn, okay. But let's say like a certain region, it'll be like painted like orange, yellow, red, whatever. You just send them right here and they'll lower the resistance. I like using them for that. I don't really use them that much for I don't really use them that much for like the spying stuff part, because I don't know. If you want to use it for like achievements and stuff in the base game, yeah, you can do that, but yeah. Now finally we're on to like the research section. So there's like a bunch of stuff here. You just got research. So this is just like self-explanatory. So let's say you want like a new gun, you just start building up, make your like your units better, and then support companies. These are what you attach to your divisions: armor, and then artillery, navy, and then so on. And then this is like the manufacturing stuff. And then you have pony technologies. This is just like extra modifiers on what you could do, like boosts and whatnot. And then I think this is like more towards like magic. Yeah, it's more towards magic. So like magic companies and such. And then you already have limited bonuses. And then, you know, right now research speed is, so since stagnation of harmony, that cuts down the speed. And then we got like all this other junk. So let's say I want to research, and like I said before with the national focuses, you also have like the, if you don't touch the research slots and such. Just I want to research something, it'll be 130 days. You just research. There you go. If you want to cancel, you could just start something else. So yeah, it'll tell you. Say okay. And then you could just, I'm pretty sure you could cancel unless, nah, you're forced to research. So whatever you pick, you make sure you just like keeping that research. And then we have the international market. So let's wait a few days. I'm gonna turn off the, oh, it's already turned, I'll turn that back. So this is, every time you start the game, you'll have like random like stuff you could pick. It'll be like the choice thing you could do. So right now, so somebody's selling equipment. So let's say I want to buy trucks. I'm going to give so it's going to cost me one factory. I'm going to give them one factory in return. I'm going to get like one truck and it'll take about, so let's take how long the delivery will take. It'll take until February. So that's like, damn, bro, that's like that's like 2 months. No, that's like 1 month. Let me check the calendar 1 second. Yeah, so it'll take about like a month. So you could use that if, like, if you're selling like old guns to somebody and whatnot. I don't really use it that much. I mean, I do use it to break the game a little, but not really. But yeah, next we have trade, and like I said before, with the, if we go back here to the expert focus, like, so right now since we're expert focused, we're giving out a bunch of not really, but we're giving out some resources to nations, and I think they're buying some from us. I could be wrong. Oh no, yeah, people are buying stuff from us right now. So like oil, so a bunch of like random countries are buying stuff, so they're giving us some factories. So let's give so notice how aluminum's red. So if we click on that icon, we could trade with somebody, and then it'll use up a factory, but we're taking 10. It'll also require convoys, but if you're right next, let's say the Crystal Empire, you don't really need convoys since it's like you guys are already like joint connected. So you just send and you get 9 aluminum. So the trade thing we'll just skip over. And then we have construction, so this is just like all the other stuff. So like infrastructure, it'll just, I don't know if how much speed. Yeah, it'll just make like the fuel capacity for like your troops moving better, because like, you know, better paved roads and such. And infrastructure, it'll also like give you additional resources, but not really. They got air bases. It'll allow you build hangars around the area, so you have more storage for your airplanes. Anti-air, you could build like defenses in a certain region, so airplanes would like have less of a time like having a air superiority in. And we have like the, you know, the building stuff, so military factory, civilian. So mainly you're gonna look at these two. Naval docks, this is for like, you know, building ships. And then you have synthetic refineries, so you could build like, so it's just basically giving you like free stuff for free, but it's a little bit expensive. As you can see, between like, so a civilian factory and like a refinery, it's like 1,400 like to build. And then nuclear reactor, you know, that's for the, you know, the nukes. And then if you want to turn so this is just converting, so you want to turn a military to civilian and then civilian to factory. And then you have like all the other stuff for, this is like the railroad stuff. You could just, if you want to build like a railroad to like give your units more supply to a certain area. And then we have like the naval bases. This will allow you like your naval base to have like more like ships to be able to build like repair and stuff. And so this one is, what is this one? I can't even tell the number. So what is this? So we can just look at it. So naval base 5. So we'll to max upgrade it to 5. And it's gonna eat up like 5 factories. Yeah, and you can see how much it takes to build. So you can look down here. It'll take until June 17. So about a few months to build 1 factory. And then like I showed before from the trade, you also have that stuff. Now we have production. Like I said before, like, you know, the green is for the military. So basically your military factories is what you're using to build like all the equipment for your soldiers, making sure you're equipped. So right now we're waiting needed for upgrades. And then there's like a bunch of stuff the being stockpiled, so like stuff that's already like over surplus and whatnot. And then you have your ships, they're already built. There's a bunch of cool stuff you could do. So since I have like the, well, I think the mod for not no surrender, I don't know, we'll call it the tank DLC. You could just like you could upgrade your tank and whatnot. Like I said back in the focus tree, you could like do other stuff for your like your tank. So let's say you want to make it racist, you could give it more speed and whatnot, and it'll like crank up in a little bit, and you could give it like a better gun, and there's all that stuff. Mainly, so what you want to look at is like resource management and like production efficiency. So right now we're making 62. So let's make another factory. So let's say same factory. Notice how this is red. So that means like right now, because since it's a brand new like production line, it's gonna take quite a little bit to reach back up to the green. So it'll start making like 62 guns. That's basically all you gotta know for like production wise. So let's say let's cut everything production down. So it'll cut down, and then we'll go cut all this. Let's cut this. And then there's like the 5 times, like if you want to scale it up some more and whatnot. I was gonna say, so if your like resources turn red, like I said before, you just go back and trade and get resources for that, and it'll like resume production at like the max potential. And then you got like the whole like army recruiting thing. So let's just say I want to spawn like Anhus, just do that, and then you can add units to that, and you can just set a location. So let's say you want to spawn, let them like spawn, they'll spawn here, bales, whatever. Just click there. And then if you want to deploy them now, it'll take at least, like I said right there, 20%, 20%, and then once they're like max like training, they'll like deploy. And then we have all this like other stuff. This is like for like military equipment, so like what's being sent where and like the priority. So reinforcement. So let's say if you want to upgrade your current units with like better weapons and stuff, obviously you want to do high priority, and then you could just put low on like some stuff, so it's more focused on that. Yeah, and you can just look at that. And then we have like the templates, so like a division designer, you could like customize your own template. So we could just make a new one right here, pimp it out. Let's say like I want only anti-air and etc. And then we gotta look in here, and then we have like, so this is like what the division template looks. So this is like infantry. Some people, they could make their own, customize it, pimp it out, and then like it'll show you like the estimated production costs and such, equipment costs, combat stats, space stats, stuff you could look at. You could customize the symbol if you want. You can make it look like the SS. Let me see if there is you could put a wolf right there. Yeah, updated. And then this is like the support equipment. So this is like modifiers. It'll lower the organization of a group, of a division, but it'll also boost up the stats. So right now, since it has engineer company, it'll boost up like their defense and such, and like some like adjusters to like terrain and like how they fight in that terrain. So we could go click right here. Oh wait, okay, we're stuck right here. Oh. We can click right here. So let's click over here in this region. It's a mountain area, so they're not gonna do well in the mountain area, but if we had like mountaineers, they'll do better in that area. But since it's standard infantry, they're only gonna be good in like the forest and such because of the engineer company. And then we have logistics. This is just like telling you what you have and what you don't have in general, so you can just go back into production and fix that up and see if like certain units might need like, so they might need light tanks or like guns and whatnot. Now we have the officer corps. So this is just this stuff up here is just like what I showed back here. It's just these people. And then right here it's just like, so the different doctrines, and then like set stuff you want to put. So let's say like, spirit. Oh well, they're all spirit, but spirit academy, army. So this just makes it like your generals. Not this guy. That guy's a spy. We're gonna go back to normal. This so like your generals, they might have a higher chance of leveling up an attack, and so basically like based on RNG, it'll like increase like, this will increase the RNG of something else more than like anything else. And then you already have like the modifiers for like not your modifier, but like the stats and whatnot for like how good is your units right now based on like what you researched. And then you want to go ahead and just click on like the land auctions. So this is just like decisions. So pretty much this is like if you're gonna use like vehicles and stuff in your warfare, support companies, infantry, and then like mass assault. And then this is like the end game stuff. So let's say you already like completed one of these, you could just pick additional one. So down here, And it'll also require research, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, right there. So required technologies. And then the same for naval, air doctrines. Those will also boost up like what your army does during combat. And then like special forces, you can pick I think only two. Yeah, you can pick two. So let's say you want to do like racial special forces or mountaineers. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we could just remove some of this. And I guess if you wanted me to explain it, but yeah, but this stuff up here, this is just like, you know, like your money and whatnot. These two right here is just your stability. So you have regular stability and war support. So this is just like, war support is just like, if it's low, then obviously you're not going to have people fight for you. I'm not going to say they're going to desert, but you're going to like have like people not join like your military and whatnot. So like your manpower will be affected and such. And notice that while if you're at war, your stability will drop down by 30%. But yeah, and then you know manpower like I showed before, and then factories, and then you have fuel, logistics fulfillment, and convoys for like trading and whatnot, or like infantry invasions, land sea what's it called? Naval invasions. There you go. And then you have like the military stuff for like experience. So this like army experience would go back here, and then you could like. If you have enough XP, you can unlock it. This right here, this is a mod thing. Now, let's go to the end game of this tutorial. We're gonna go ahead and just select our military. So, I already exited out all that stuff, but you could just, if you want to, you could do this. It'll keep notifying you that you have like some units that you haven't selected, but you just select everybody, you can just right-click down here. And then you can just move them to like, so let's say we got all this stuff here, battle plan. So this is just to make them train, to make them get better. So like their stats and such right here. And then you have like, so basically these two just basically allow like, if you want to spread your army out or like make sure they're like close knit together, that's basically what it is. And then naval invasion, like I was mentioning, and then paratroop, like paradropping. But paradropping, you might need, I think you need paratroopers. Unless you could do anybody with this mod. Let me check. Yeah, no, yeah, you need paratroopers. Anyways, going back, I'm pretty sure there is 21 units for Equestria, but we'll ignore that. Normally, what you want to look at is just the front line and like offensive line. And then there's like all these other stuff, so like fallback lines. So let's say we're gonna have units on Stalingrad, and then we could just make a fallback line if something bad happens and pull them back to this area. So right now we're gonna use that front line. They're gonna come up here, and then if you want to start planning out stuff, you could do offensive line right here, and then you could just right there. And you can just multitask whenever. You could just like, so let's say they already pushed to like right here, like you made an offensive line right here, you just delete that and then push it up a little more. But normally if you're just gonna take a bite of the whole country, you may as well just put, you know, the line all the way up. And then we'll go ahead and go over to like the, you know, this is like garrison stuff, so this is like having your units defend like from like naval invasions and stuff. You shouldn't have this happen unless, you know, AI or like somebody might like come and like, you know, do like a high Squidward to you. But you just that's just garrison, and you could just disable. So let's say, so right now they're defending the coastline right now. Like all these units are defending the coastline. You could just click on the coastline and they'll only defend just ships and stuff. You could exclude cities. Oh wait, no. You can exclude railroads. There you go. They'll only defend like just the city and the port by itself. Alright, and then going back, so let's say you want to multitask like a different front line with your units. You could just do that. And then let's say you want some units over here instead. So notice how there's no divisions. You could go up here, cut this in half, do control click, left click. And then it'll bring half the army over there. But we're going to go ahead and ignore that. That was a declared war. So we'll go back and reset that. It'll bring everybody back to where they are. Notice how these guys are, they have the exclamation mark. They need orders. So you just want to select everybody and just go back to normal. Left click on the front line. And then you have all this other junk you could look at up here. So like motorization, so if they're gonna use trucks and whatnot to like get better supply, and then like if they have rail guns, I don't ignore this. So these are just decisions. You can just ignore that, since this is the tutorial. You know, this is the tutorial, by the way. And then like if there's any air wings attached to them and such. And then notice how like this portrait for this person's blank. So this is like, you know, your generals, like they'll basically boost up your army based on like what they have. So you know, I do not care. Shut up. Leave me alone. So like whatever general you pick, it'll boost up the stats of your units because like, you know, they're commanding them. So you have like your generals, and then if you want to build like an army group, so you right click on the bigger portrait with the pony looking on the side. You would have like your field marshal who would just control like 5 other generals. So we could split this army group in half like again, and then we could make another general, and we could do this guy. So we have 2 different like army groups. So instead of like you could use your field marshal to like multitask all these people, so they'll make one big front line. So let me do this. So let me click on, I already clicked on the field marshal, and let's make a front line like this, and line is different now. So now your army group is split into 2 different groups now. So you know your one other guy and your other guy, and they'll move up, and then like I said before, and then they'll both follow the offensive line and attack based on their orders and whatnot. And you can also multitask too. So let's say let's have a third guy. You could have a third person follow orders differently. So let's say you don't want, so you already have these people. You could have this guy on this side doing his own thing, like being a monkey, I guess. While these people are attacking, you could have this person do separate orders, so you could just like switch Rue and whatnot. And then as part from like declaring war and whatnot, before I do that, I'm gonna just show like the Navy and air support. So over here we have like our Navy. Normally, I'm gonna be honest, I do not touch Navy apart from like naval invasions. So I'm not really gonna go into full detail into this unless, I don't know, you can watch your own video. I'm not gonna show this shit. I'll be honest. Yet. But yeah, so you can just like right click. I'm gonna just pick everybody up in my Navy. Build like one giant ass galactic fleet. And like I said before, you know, your admirals and whatnot, instead for like the generals, you just click that on your portrait. And then like I said, these are like the same, like so the like, different stuff here for like naval, so it'll just like bring them out to a region and they'll start training. And then there's other stuff like patrol, strike force, blah blah blah, but I normally just use naval invasion. So when you right click, and then you can look at the stats too, since as you can see, friendly supremacy, currently in control of the region. You're gonna, in order for you to do a naval invasion, you're gonna need like full like naval supremacy to like in that region. So like let's say here and there, you're gonna need like full supremacy in that area. And then we have aircraft. Notice how we have 5 planes on the hangar, and then it was just like up here. So let's say we're gonna send them out for close air support. Send them out. I'll show you guys if we're at war right now. So we're gonna go ahead and cut through that. But yeah, but there's like other stuff. So like air superiority, close air support. So air superiority is just making sure that you have like total control of the air, and then close air support, they'll do damage to your like divisions and whatnot. And then interception, you know, stopping planes and bombings. And then strategic bombing is just like you're blowing up other countries like buildings and whatnot. And then you're over here, this is just the naval stuff, like planting mines or like attacking ships with your airplanes and whatnot. So yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead to the final part of the video. It's just fighting, declaring war and whatnot. So you want to go ahead, since I already have my battle group, my army group, we're gonna go ahead, and they already made it. Also, I forgot to mention, there's like this stuff right here. So notice like these bluish lines. So let's end the front line. So they're gonna, oh, they're all standing still, but when your units move, it will change and it'll be different. Like, so they'll be how prepared they are, basically, like how ready they are, so they'll be moving it back and forth. So we're gonna go ahead and move them back, and then once they move back, they're gonna start entrenching around the area, which give them more like a defense. Anyways, let's go back and do like the battle plan thing. So we're gonna right click on a country. Let's say that we're gonna attack Stalingrad. We might lose, we might win, who knows. Like I said before, we could also have the Crystal Empire join us in our fight. So let's go ahead and do that. So you look at what a win-win is. We'll use Crystal Empire as like some meat shields. So we'll have them right here as like the main focus group. So we're gonna go ahead and declare war. So notice how we're not able to, because like I said before, the war goals are limited. So we need world tension. For us, we need world tension. Since we're, but different ideologies, they don't need to do that. They could just go straight in. So world tension right here. This is just like making what's neutral and what's chaotic in the world. So once these wars are over, depending on if some country like takes over a country, world tension might rise. It might go down. Who knows? It depends. But just the sake of it, I'm just gonna add, if I remember the console man, I think right there. And now the flower is withered. And then we're gonna go ahead and right click now. And like I said before, harmonize nations. We're gonna use cheating again, because I'm a fiend. We're gonna go ahead and do allow diplo and right click. And then like I said before, if you're doing multiplayer and you're doing the custom settings, you could just allow anybody to declare war. So you could just do that when you do multiplayer. But we're gonna go ahead and look at these two now. So justify war goal, and notice how there's conquer. Conquer will be like for everybody, and then take claim is like basically you claim like a state where your focus, national focus or something, or you already like took claim to that originally. So conquer, you just click on it, and then you click on a state, and then if you wanna, I guess if you click on more states, it'll also like increase the duration of like how long it'll take for it to justify a war. So I guess let's say you're fighting somebody and you want to justify a war on somebody else, you could do that, and you could just let it go on a little bit more, so you have more time to defeat your enemy, your other enemy, and then fight the other guy once it's time. And then take claim state. So notice how right here, so it's 125 for this, and then Misty Hills, it'll take like 65 days. Because claim will just like cut the justify war in half. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna ignore this because I'm just gonna go ahead and just declare war at this point, because I already have the allow diplo console command, which will just allow me to do it. So basically, but once you do, it'll basically once your justify war goal happens, it'll pop up and say, hey, you have a justify war. I mean, your thing is completed. Come fight these people. You just go ahead, click on it, and then just call declare war. Once that happens, you could click on your units now in here to like start moving up. So they're gonna go ahead and start attacking now. And then as you're attacking, like I said before, you'll have different buffs and debuffs. So right now we're doing good with the greens right now. And then let me see. Oh, I cannot see nobody. Unless Stalingrad has like 0 units. I guess they have 0 units. Okay. So as the war is going on, we're gonna go ahead and blitz right now into Stalingrad and take all their stuff. So you can multitask too. You could click on a division and like start moving them, like right click and whatnot, like it's League of Legends. So notice how like that was a debuff right there. Though it's a red. So they start they just kicked my ass. So they might win now. So we might lose this war, it depends. If I do good encirclements right now. So we're gonna go ahead and just keep biting on them one by one. So we're having some obvious choke points right now. And then as you're fighting, you're gonna lose supply as the war goes on, so you may want to keep that in check. So notice how, oh yeah, I have like 50 artillery guns, hell no. Gonna fix that a little bit, so I'm just gonna adjust everything real quick. There we go. And then notice how we're making progress right now. We're gonna take out some more inventory, more territory. So like I said before, mainly when you're fighting, if you're like a small nation, but small or big, you're always want to multitask. Obviously, multiplayer, you can't do that, but that's kind of your problem if you don't have like a monkey brain. So notice how these people are encircled. They're gonna, because they're losing. Since they have no supply route, these units are gonna, over time, they're gonna start using supply. They're gonna start ending up supply, and then right now, look, they're, oh, this guy, look, he's losing organization. He's gonna die. Okay, so he's pulling back because their morale is low, I guess. And we're gonna have these people, so we have more of the war front open up. So we're gonna start taking a little bit more territory here. So now, once they fought, they're gonna go and start moving. We're gonna start using our Crystal Empire units to make a line over here where there's a big chunk of units. And we're gonna free up more people over here. So we're gonna keep these people. We're gonna try and keep these people in this choke point over here. They might die at some point, but I don't really care about that. I'm gonna use this tank here to start taking out cities around their area. We're gonna stay neutral. I don't even know what the heck that was. I wasn't even reading. So right now I'm like moving around the map, being a rat, pushing on it. So we went ahead and won the war. So this is what it looks like for like the the demanding area. This is where you can make your demands. What's it called? Peace conference. There we go. So you already, every time you fight a country, you'll steal some of their resources, so you take half of it and whatnot. And then you have all this other stuff. So mainly, everybody, they just do the take state and this other stuff. If you want to puppet them, go ahead. And then if you want to change their government. And then if you want to take their navy, you should probably take their navy so you have more ships. So you just take that so you can steal their ships and be a fiend. And then we're going to go ahead, since we won the war, we're going to take all the states. And we're going to end that. And there we go. We have their territory. And since I took their territory, it's not mine. Like I said before, you're going to see the garrison, like the resistance and the occupation, like the compliance. We're going to go ahead and send my... Oh, what the fuck? How did my guy get arrested? Oh, he got arrested in the changelings. I forgot. So he's going to get assassinated. So we're going to dismiss him. If I could fire him. Can I not fire him? I guess not. So he's in there. He's gonna get killed. But basically, I could have used my operative to lower like the resistance in the area. So we're gonna go ahead and look at the compliance area. So notice how like the different numbers and whatnot. Let me pause the game so I don't get any notifications. Resistance. There we go. So notice how like it's yellow, some is red and whatnot. But yeah. Yeah, you just use that and make sure like you're garrisoning. Make sure you have enough units to garrison, and then let me look over at manpower. So manpower, we're taking 45,000 of our pony power to garrison that area and whatnot. But yeah, and then look, like I said before, it notifies you undesigned divisions. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the tutorial. That's like the basics. I don't really have anything advanced for you to show. Like mostly everything of this is like common sense. I guess if you needed to watch a video, well, this was the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and end the video now, so if you guys enjoyed it, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. But anyways, I'll be leaving now, and bye.